We've got the Mazda CX-9 and the fit and finish on this is just beautiful.
Let's go for a drive. But first of all, what's under the hood of this thing, Andrea?
A 2.5 liter, 4-cylinder turbocharged engine with a 6-speed automatic transmission. It has 250 horsepower and 320 pound-feet of torque on premium fuel. But if you want to use regular fuel, you are going to lose a little bit of power, 227 horsepower and 310 pound-feet of torque.
It's all about the torque, Andrea. It's amazing with this size engine and this size vehicle how well it delivers the power.
Oh, it's so good.
Torque is satisfying. Torque is what you use every day from traffic light to traffic light. And you would think, you know, this is the same engine they have the Mazda 3 hatchback.
I know.
In this big vehicle.
Yeah.
But this is almost more rewarding to drive.
Yeah, I wonder why that is. It's just tuned differently, I guess.
So they tune the torque to come on earlier to move a big vehicle, and it works. It does a great job.
Yeah.
Now, we have a lot of stuff packed into this review. We have questions, coffee, and cars. We have for your consideration, the competition.
Our hot topic.
Fuel economy,
Pricing.
price pause, all of that kind of stuff.
Yeah.
So that's all still to come. But first, what the heck is Kuro?
Well, Kuro Mazda says it loosely translates into the color black. And so what you see on the exterior of this Kuro trim, which we are test driving, is the black grille, black accents throughout, and the 20-inch black wheel. So that's what you're getting with the Kuro trim.
Now, the color in Canada is gray or black, right?
That's right, that polymetal gray, which we've got.
But in the United States, you just get
the gray.
You don't get the black.
No.
Na.
But it's not called Kuro in the US. It's called Carbon Edition.
Oh, there you go, America.
Yeah.
All right, time now for our key standard features.
The Mazda CX-9 comes standard with a 7-inch color touchscreen, adjustable black cloth heated front seats, 8-way power driver's seat with lumbar support, 7-passenger seating, leather-wrapped steering wheel and shifter, Apple Carplay and Android Auto, LED headlights and rear combination lights, 18-inch wheels, and i-Activsense safety features.
So there's a switch here. You can put it in normal or sport. What else can you put it in?
How about putting it in S for subscribe? And if you hit the notification bell, it really supports the channel. You'll be notified when the videos drop, and then you can watch them.
So every Wednesday afternoon and every Saturday morning, we do the couple car reviews. That's what we're doing right now. On Monday evenings, we do the live show. Any questions you have about cars?
And on Tuesday, we do a comparison review.
And then on Friday, it's their Survivor Series, some cool old collectible car. And while you're at it, follow along on Instagram, Motormouth_Andrea, to get a sneak peek on what we're shooting, when the videos are going to drop.
Yep.
And also, for me, it's Motormouth_Auto, and the links are below. This video is brought to you by Car Cost Canada. Get the dealer's cost, list of rebates, plus discounted interest rates. Use the promo code Motormouth to become an expert member and get extra searches. The link is in the description below. So on the outside, you get all those black features, but on the inside, it's pretty obvious what you get.
You get this garnet red trimmed interior, and it looks really beautiful. I think it's a great red. You also will see this red in the 100th anniversary trim,
which was last year.
Yeah.
I don't like red seats.
So what? You can still get it in Canada, but not in the US.
I wouldn't get red seats.
I think I really like it. It's quite nice.
Okay, while we're on the interior, let's talk about a few of the features.
Well, what's amazing is one up from the base model, it'll cost you $43,500 Canadian and $36,000 US, and you get a lot. You get the bigger 9-inch screen, a heated steering wheel, the power moonroof, keyless entry.
Heated rear seats.
Yep.
And one thing about the moonroof, though, Andrea, is it's just this sunroof. You don't get a big panel roof. That's one of the complaints from people about this product.
Well, it is a 7-seater. You've got 3 rows, and it gets kind of dark back there. So I would recommend, if Mazda's going to do an upgrade, to put at least an available optional panel roof.
Now, we kind of dumped on the CX-5 that we drove recently. By the way, click the card up here if you want to watch that excellent review. It's excellent, Andrea. About the head unit and how slow they are, and they're smaller. Now, we're seeing a discrepancy between Canada and the US again. What's the deal with the head unit?
Yes, in the US, you get a 10.25-inch screen, and you have to control it with the center console dial. This one is 7-inch standard, but we get a 9-inch on this Kuro trim. It is a touchscreen, but only when the vehicle is not moving. Otherwise, you control it also with the center dial.
Why does Mazda do this?
Yeah.
Okay, now people often ask, how come they're different across the border? Well, each company, whether it's Mazda USA or Mazda Canada, checks a bunch of boxes how they want to equip their cars. Obviously in Canada, they check a lot of things for cold weather, like heated seats and heated steering wheel. That's important to us. But I like them to check the box on the better head unit, because these older head units are slow.
Yeah.
And that's the one area on this vehicle I find that it really lets it down. Actually, not this vehicle, this brand, really.
Yeah. And you can see that a larger screen is supposed to go in there, so it doesn't really look great.
All right, well,
I think we just need better technology in this, and Mazda has got to just kind of pick it up in that regard.
You know, the new models are coming this fall, right?
Yeah,
So the 2022s, and you know, I bet you that's going to be addressed. Now, this isn't the biggest vehicle in this class, but it's comfortable.
Yeah, these seats are super comfortable. There's a lot of cushion to them. I'm really enjoying the comfort level. And when it comes to the second row, it's super spacious. We've got the captain's chairs, which are standard on this trim, but one up from the base model, they are available for $300. So at least it's an option, or you can just get the bench seat.
Now, a lot of people complain about the third row in this. It's not so much for the length, it's the way the roof crops down at the back.
Right.
So that's something for you to consider. You always have to consider what you're using a vehicle like this for. If you're only using it on an occasion to put a kid back there, it's going to be perfectly fine.
Although I have to say, Zach, it's one of the better third row seats I've been in because it is so cushioned.
Yeah, but if you're needing it all the time and you need all of that space, there's going to be other options available.
And then the other problem is the cargo space. If you are using all 6 or 7 seats, there is very little cargo space, so you're not going on a road trip with your big family.
Yeah, but that's pretty common in this class.
It is, unless you're going to get a roof rack.
All right, time for coffee.
Time now for questions, coffee, and cars.
Your questions from Instagram.
Are the front seats larger in the CX-9 than the CX-5? I sat in a CX-5 at the dealership the other day and the seat button felt very narrow and shallow. Yes, this one is much bigger than the CX-5. It's wider, it's longer, and these seats are plush.
Yeah, it's a bigger car. That's what you notice most when you go from one class to the next. I mean, obviously it's longer, but it's the width. That's where you get more hip and shoulder room.
Just feels more open.
More comfortable.
Yes.
I'm going to move my seat back, Drea, because I can.
All right. I always see the Mazda compared to luxury brands. Realistically, how big of a gap is there between the higher priced Mazda CX-9 and the lower Q7 and X5 in your opinion? Well, I have to say the fit and finish is beautiful. And actually, I think, I think there's a little bit more soft materials than some of the luxury brands.
Okay, this is where you're going to notice the biggest difference. It's in electronics.
Yes.
Those cars have newer, bigger screens, especially the Q7. It's got the multi-screen interior.
Gorgeous.
It's just nicer. And yeah, you're going to notice it also probably in the handling department.
Yeah.
This handles well, but I think those ones will have the
And
edge.
bigger engines.
Yeah, bigger engine.
The value of the CX-9 is unmistakable in the 7-seater market, but the competition is stiff. Is the CX-9 up to the challenge, or will the sales dwindle against its competitors?
Well, I think that this has a really unique proposition. It's maybe right size for a lot of people. I think probably what you're talking about are the twins that have arrived, the Telluride and the Palisade, which are so good, right? But this is smaller.
This is smaller, and I think if you're in the city a lot and you don't want to drive a large 7-seater, or you don't need 7 seats up all the time, this Mazda is just great for that because it doesn't feel like you're hauling around a large vehicle.
And if you do a lot of highway driving, the highway fuel economy is very good.
Andrea, what's the long-term reliability on the CX-9 or other Mazdas? You just don't see too many of the older Mazdas on the road. It makes me wonder.
Oh, can I just jump in before you do the quality?
Sure.
The old CX-9 was a shared platform with Ford.
Yes.
It was shared on the Ford Edge platform. So this latest generation is the all Mazda product.
Yeah.
So maybe those older ones could be a question mark about them. Now over to Andrea, the research department.
Well, Consumer Reports has actually put the 2020 Mazda CX-9 it gives it a 5 out of 5 for reliability, and also it ranks at 4 out of 26 for midsize SUVs. So that's a pretty good place to be.
And Consumer Reports named Mazda as the top brand overall this year. So take that to the bank.
Yeah, so that's it. Thank you so much for your questions.
If you want
Always great answering them.
If you want to get one in, make sure to follow Andrea. It's Motormouth_Andrea on Instagram. And because you hear the music, it's time for nightlife. In each review, we keep 1 or 2 questions back and expand on it. We call it our hot topic. What's it this week, Andrea?
We've got 2 today. Does Mazda have any plans on producing a hybrid SUV in the near future? And what is Mazda's stance on electrification? Every other manufacturer is going that direction, yet not a peep from Mazda. I'm afraid they may have their priorities wrong when they said they were still focusing on internal combustion engines.
So the interesting thing is, the day that we're recording this, Mazda put out a press release all about electrification.
Yeah.
Perfect timing.
But we actually contacted head office the day before that with these questions saying, what are your plans? And they said, press release tomorrow.
All right, so what did they say?
So what they said is that the MX-30 electric vehicle is coming out this fall. How about that? 144 horsepower and 200 pound-feet of torque. We don't have any range yet. We don't have any pricing, but it is coming to Canada in the fall. It will mostly be sold in Quebec and British Columbia.
Okay, I just want to do a little bit of a backstory on this. So this MX-30 is basically the CX-30 but electrified.
Yes.
Okay, Mazda went it alone with the development of this car. Then they got involved with Toyota.
Yes.
So there's going to be more electrification coming. That is a pure Mazda. The next ones are going to be more Toyota co-developed.
So Mazda says that after they launch this MX-30 electric vehicle, they are going to come out with a hybrid.
Yeah.
So that is going to be connected, I suppose, with the hybrid system with Toyota.
That's right. And they're going to have they even mentioned in the larger vehicles, they're going to have a plug-in hybrid, which means this might be a plug-in hybrid. They're going to be doing more with Toyota because Mazda just doesn't have the engineering might, and they need to share the costs across many platforms, and that's what we're going to see. And actually, Toyota owns a share of Mazda. So it's not just a relationship. It's not an alliance. There's some co-ownership there.
Right.
So you would think this is a unique proposition, having a 4-cylinder sort of large SUV, but no. There's other competition.
For your consideration, 4 vehicles for you to consider.
So we picked 4 4-cylinder 7-seater SUVs to go up against this 4-cylinder 7-seater. The first one is the Kia Sorento. It is a 2.5-liter turbo 4-cylinder engine and an 8-speed automatic transmission. It's a dual wet clutch transmission. It has 281 horsepower and a starting price of just under $40,000.
The Subaru Ascent has a 2.4-liter turbocharged 4-cylinder engine matched with a CVT. It has 260 horsepower and a starting price of almost $37,000.
Next up is the Mitsubishi Outlander. Slightly smaller than this. It has a 2.5-liter 4-cylinder engine matched with a CVT. It has 181 horsepower and a starting price of roughly $32,000.
The next one is a 4-cylinder and it's a 3-row SUV, but it has a hybrid system instead of a turbocharged 4-cylinder. It's the Toyota Highlander Hybrid, a 2.5-liter 4-cylinder gas engine with Toyota's hybrid system, producing 243 horsepower. It has a starting price of almost $46,000. So there are 4 vehicles for you to consider. I always say Mazda products offer such great value, and this CX-9 is no exception. Let's get into a price pause. The CX-9 starts at almost $40,000, and the top signature trim is $51,850. The 100th anniversary trim is available in Canada for $53,350. Here's the fuel economy. It gets 11.6 liters per 100 kilometers in the city, 9.1 on the highway. That's 20 miles per gallon city, 26 miles per gallon highway.
You know, we waited to the end to tell everybody Andrea is a huge Mazda fangirl.
I do like Mazda.
Do you love this?
I do. I've really enjoyed driving this CX-9. It's smooth, it's comfortable, the turning radius is excellent, and it has a quiet cabin. Now, if there's a refresh, what I would like to see is, of course, the larger screen, maybe a digital driver display, and then a panoramic sunroof. Now, that would just be golden for me. Well, Mazda, once again, you didn't disappoint me. I really enjoy the drive of this CX-9. It certainly doesn't feel like a large 7-seater.
They still have some things they could work on, especially electronics, but you know what? This is a very nice vehicle to drive every day. This video is brought to you by Car Cost Canada. Get the dealer's cost, list of rebates, plus discounted interest rates. Use the promo code Motormouth to become an expert member and get extra searches. The link is in the description below.